Once you learn how to work with and not against your natural money language, you will end up creating a natural magnetic pull for abundance, opportunities, prosperities, because you've been spending most of your life, if not all of it, working against how you naturally react and how you naturally attract and how you naturally communicate with the energetic source of money. So, what we're doing in this special 4-part series is uncovering the secrets to making more and working less by aligning with the inherent rhythm of your financial flow. It's time to rewrite your money story and invite lasting success into your life. This is part 2 of the 4 money languages, the Validator. What up, my people, my posse, my fellow crazies? It's your host, Tiffany Carter, and this is the show that is going to help you grow your business, your bank account, that big, beautiful brain of yours, your mindset, your relationships, your abundance, and everything in between. I can't wait for you to keep listening to this special 4-part series on the 4 money languages. This is many, many years of studying and testing and implementing that went into this. And if you apply it to your life and you also use it as an identifier to people that you meet that are new or people existing in your life, even with clients, it has the ability to change everything for you. If you haven't noticed, we are having our biggest Black Friday sale of all time. So this is the combo. This is the vibe. This is your next move. If you are wanting to know exactly how to go from 0 to $15,000 consistent months in your business, any type of business. This can be a brick and mortar business. This can be an online coaching business. You can be a healer. You can be a multi-passionate. You can be an affiliate marketer. You can be a realtor. What I teach you are my emotional based sales techniques. You are learning how to actually market your business in a way that feels genuine and good to you and good to your ideal client, plus also stand out in any market, no matter how saturated it is. If you do not focus on that skill set, it doesn't matter how good your end product is. It doesn't matter how talented you are. It doesn't even matter if you're giving stuff for free. You won't have people signing up. It's all about your messaging plus that money mindset of yours. So the combo that we've done this year for our Black Friday sale is, one, you can get into my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. You get $50 off the first month. So it's $3.33 a day. You even get more off if you do the annual option. It's several $100s off. Plus, you get $2,200 in free bonuses. So you get my content creation made easy course bundle, but you're also getting my winning launch formula masterclass, which also comes with a workbook. So if you're not sure like how to launch your things, this spells it out step by step. And then you're also getting my ideal client magnifier system masterclass plus the accompanying worksheets, because everything stems from and leads to your ideal client. And if you do not really identify this person on a deep level emotionally, you're leaving dollars on the table, and we're not about that life. On top of it, my brand new workbook, Make More, Work Less, showing my mug on ProjectME TV on YouTube. You can get that right now for $200 off. It's the first 200 people. We're now 65% sold out of those. So you don't want to wait on that. As far as the posse, just so you know, I opened 33 new member spots for this, and they're already half gone. And so don't delay, don't wait. There is no other sale like this that I do all year. It's not like, oh, Tiffany will run something else with this in January. No, I don't. And anyone who's been listening to me for a long time, they know that. Like what I say, when I say it, this is it. This is the vibe. You can swipe up and go into the show notes for the link or go into the description on ProjectME TV on YouTube, projectmewithtiffany.com/Black Friday, projectmewithtiffany.com/Black Friday. And this is for the big posse sale and all those bonuses I just said. And then for my brand new workbook, it's projectmewithtiffany.com/make more work less. All of these links are in my bio on TikTok and Instagram. So if you're driving, showering, pooping, exercising, whatever you're doing right now, and you're like, oh, I can't write that down, I can't remember it, like, it's all in the link in bio in those places. All right, let's get on to part 2, which is the validator. Now, if you've not listened to part 1, I need you to listen to that first, because I'm not going to keep re-explaining how to use the 4 money languages and apply it to yourself. I value your time, and I don't want to reiterate that every single part. So you just need to go back to part 1 if you need a refresher. Okay. And you may have the validator as your primary thing. So I'm comparing this to the 5 money languages. But when it comes to the money languages, I find that there's 4, and then you have sub money languages that are in there. So the validator is fascinating. This is one of my subs. And if I fall into scarcity, meaning a lot of fear, I have a lot of anxiety going on, you will see this sub money language of mine, the validator, they can really take the driver's seat if I'm not being more conscious of it. So being invalidated in childhood will have you seeking validation in adulthood from things you don't even consciously realize. Okay. And here's what I mean by that. You are seeking certain titles and promotions at work. You want to achieve a certain monetary status. You get really fixated on the likes and follows on social media. You have an attachment to your career choice where you like the reaction you get from people when you say you're in a certain career. So I used to be heavily in the pharmaceutical world. And when people would ask what I did for a living, I'd be like, I'm a pharmaceutical rep, or I'm a national trainer in pharmaceuticals, national sales director in pharmaceuticals. I climbed the corporate ladder. No matter where I was on that ladder when I said that, every single person, all walks of life, their eyes would open and nod their head like, oh, wow, like impressive. From all different countries, everyone was impressed because they knew those are coveted jobs and are highly paid. But that validator side of me kind of liked that. So when I was a TV newscaster, I got a lot of validation from my mom, the narcissist. She loved being able to tell people I was on TV because that made her look good, right? And there was a part of me that sought out that career, because if people put me on TV, if people were tuning in and watching me, that must mean I have something valuable to say. That must mean I'm worthy of people listening to me, because no one listened to me and really deeply valued me in childhood. So I was seeking it out professionally, but it was all subconsciously. Here's where this goes sideways. And I'm going to give you some examples in my life and with clients of mine. So people, which, they do this now with the podcast, they do this now, on TikTok and even emails, people will share their opinion, even if it's not kind. And so when you're on TV, people will write in, like literally take the time, not just email, like they'll freaking send letters and shit. And they'll make comments about they made comments about my skin. I had really bad cystic acne, and then that TV makeup only made it worse. They would make comments about different stories, things like that. So when anyone made a comment, a criticism, even if it was a critique that came in the form where it was a healthy critique, I spiraled. I may have kept it together in front of my boss. Wow, my eyebrows are wild today. You get to see this if you're watching on YouTube. Okay, I'm getting wax later. We're gonna get it together. And I internally would be totally spiraling because I was so dependent on what people thought of me, how people perceived me, their reaction to me for my sense of self-worth. Well, that's very dangerous. Okay. And you can see why. So when I have clients come to me who've been a long time in a career, climb the corporate ladder, they're a physician, a practitioner of sorts. They have like a professional type designation, a therapist, a psychologist, an accountant, and they really don't want to do that anymore. They're not happy. They want to do something else, but they're having such a hard time stopping that career because they don't want to disappoint the people in their lives. There's a part of them that's become their identity and it's become a validator, even though that's not who they are. That's their profession. And it's one of the things we have to work through when they come to me for help in building a business, building other ways to generate income so that they can work less and make more. It's like they want to stay holding on to that identity. I had a really hard time with me leaving pharmaceuticals and starting my own business, even though my business I went into is an agency that serves in terms of digital marketing and branding in that medical world. I didn't have like the pedigree of saying, I work for Merck Pharmaceuticals and like getting the reaction from people, you know? And I was also nervous about people thinking I was a kook, right? Because people were all talking about me like, you're going to leave this kind of prestigious career. You're nuts. That's crazy. Like, what if it doesn't work? Then you're going to have a gap in your resume. So I had all of this nonsense coming in my head because I was subconsciously, I genuinely wasn't aware of it, even after many years of therapy, very dependent on what other people thought of me for me to say, oh, I'm okay. Like, I'm good enough to be in this world. I'm successful. I'm a smart person. So if this is resonating with you, let me know. If you're watching live on ProjectME TV on YouTube, you can write it in the comments in real time. And when I'm sharing these money languages, these are not all negative. I like sharing the traits that might seem not so helpful to you to start with, because that's typically what we can identify with the fastest. And then I'm going to show you how to integrate them. All of us have shit. It's a matter of, do we just let it be shit and let it control our lives? Or do we use these things to our advantage? So here's how I use this stuff to my advantage now. It's like, I know that I do not need external approval for me to know I'm worthy of having a successful podcast. I'm worthy of, my Make More Work Less workbook to be a huge hit, which it is, by the way. And your comments that you guys are sending in, emailing in, messaging, sharing on TikTok, sharing on Instagram. I mean, it brings me to it brings me to tears. I mean, I'm pulling one up right now that is just like, I'm so incredible. I'm so excited. I've learned so much and have changed so many of my beliefs just from the first section. I cannot imagine the turnaround this is going to be by the time I finish this. Started and completed the first half of section 1 from Make More Work Less. It's already brought me to tears in a good, healing way. The revelations Tiffany shared about her own life is serving as a light for me, and I'm already understanding the roots of my abundance clog and what needs to be shifted and reprogrammed. And it keeps going. So don't hesitate on this. This isn't some like 10-page slap together workbook. This is years in the making, very intentional, and it's a full guided course with videos. All the details are projectmewithtiffany.com/make more work less. You can swipe up the links in the show notes. And it's about 65% sold out in order to get the $200 off. And then the Posse Black Friday sale is also in the show notes. And we are half sold out of that. And I will not be adding any more spots. So that'll be it. And so you want to get in on this shit. So cool. But for me to be able to even speak with this kind of conviction about my offers, about who I help, how I help you, what I help you with, if it was dependent on the number of sales I get, the number of signups I get, how much money I'm getting, the reviews and testimonials from people, I would be screwed. You want to know why? Because you don't get any of that shit in the beginning. This comes after you put the thing out into the world, after you talk about it, after people buy the thing, after people do the thing, after people show up. And that's the danger of all this. So many of you quit or take your foot off the gas or like quit before you even really get started because you're posting on social media and like it doesn't feel like anyone's watching. It doesn't feel like anyone's commenting. And you're like, oh, I'll do another week or so. Or you've done a few months and nothing's really happening because you are dependent on getting external validation that this is what you're supposed to be doing. So here's how we take our power back. You're going to validate your fucking self. When you validate yourself, when you give to yourself what it is you always wanted in childhood from other people, what it is you still yearn for, because that inner child of yours, that inner teenager of yours, they are both still yearning for that. That's why we end up repeating the relationships we don't repair subconsciously. We marry mom, we marry dad, we attract in friends, we attract in people who work for us, we even attract in clients that have characteristics of these relationships in our lives so that we can finally repair them. And if we don't, it'll keep repeating. I promise you. I've been on this earth a while and this shit keeps repeating and it's happening for us in different forms. So how do we do that? Whenever I'm in that state, and I was in this state as I've shared on the show with the workbook, like I mean, my stomach was in knots. I was sweating. I was restless sleep. I mean, I was so nervous putting it out there. And I was like, God, is this going to be good enough? Is this enough? Are people going to get it? Did I convey the message right? I hope I didn't give them too much, but I hope I didn't give them too little. And I had to come back to Tiffany, this work is beautiful. And you wouldn't have had this desire to put this out in the world if it wasn't supposed to be there. And it's going to hit with the people it's supposed to hit with. And it's going to miss the mark on the people that aren't at that level of frequency yet or are stuck in victimhood and or they procrastinate and they choose not to do the work even though they want what they say they want. They choose not to complete it and that's not on you. And I'm getting emotional. You know, what did you always want to hear in childhood? I wanted just to be accepted and loved for being me on any given day, whether I was a mess, whether I was sick, whether I was excited, whether I was boiling over with confidence, whether I was in a silly mood, whether I was grumpy. You know, I wanted to be enough, not like I wasn't too much and I wasn't not enough, but I was just right. But I can't keep seeking that from strangers, from lovers, from friends, you know, like, or in other things like people, places, and things, professions, titles, money, car, looks. You will end up empty. I spent most of my life doing that because I didn't know any better. And the magic is when you give to yourself the very thing you need. It's like being your own cheerleader. And yes, it's freaking rough sometimes, but you've got to believe in yourself even on your worst days. You have to. And yeah, you're going to have to dig deep sometimes. And that doesn't mean you don't lean on a friend or you don't lean on your coach or you don't lean on a therapist. This is why I have my ProjectME Posse business coaching membership. You know, we make a point, you know, several times a month. There are weekly live trainings in there, but a couple times a month for sure we do genuine, raw, and real check-ins because all of this stuff is what comes up. And if we don't work through it and we don't support one another and we try to go about this alone, you will end up quitting at some point. Most people end up quitting because they're not setting themselves up to succeed. You have a choice to stack the odds in your favor that you're going to succeed right fucking now, not January 2nd, now. Or you're stacking the odds in your favor. You're going to stay stuck at exactly where you're at. And in fact, even worse, because you're going to get more and more and grow more and more sick of your current circumstances and your current situation, that it's going to continue to deplete your energy more and more and more and more. And the choice is truly yours. So, yeah, I do lean on people when I'm struggling. But at the end of the day, it's me and it's God, it's the universe, it's my angels, my spirit guides, right? Like me and a power of my understanding. Sometimes I talk to the ocean. Sometimes I look around me and I have to remind myself of the very things that I share with you guys. Sometimes we need to say zero fucks given. I feel like that was long overdue. And this is why my mastermind in a lot of my programs, or when I do really fun bonuses and stuff, we give out like our zero fucks given merch. And that doesn't mean you don't care about other people. That doesn't mean it's in an angry way, but you're giving too many fucks. This is where this was born from me. And then I just made a song out of it. It's like you are giving too many fucks away to other people of what will they think? What are they saying? What are they going to think about this post? What are they going to think about me switching careers? What are they going to think about me doing this? What are they going to think if they read the workbook? What are they going to who you know who they is? It's usually one or two people in your inner circle, which is really sad. It's not typically a stranger 99.9% of the time with all the people that I've coached, which is terrible, right? That it's the people closest to you you're worried about what they will think. The other day, in order to get me, you know, out of the validator being yearning for that, because the more we're yearning, like that needy energy, it's a codependent energy. We're needing, oh, I need to see more sales in my workbook. I need to see people writing reviews. I need to see. You know what the universe does then? Okay. Well, once you get back into an abundant state, then you will see. But you're out of a scarcity state, a needy state. That's not surrender. That's not trust. That's not having faith. So that's repelling abundance. Do you see how that works? So in order to get myself back into that abundant state, I'll do a dance. I'll go grab like my zero fucks given mug, or I'll put on my zero fucks given hoodie, and I'll be like, this is a zero fucks given moment for today. Like I needed to remind myself I don't need these external things to validate that I did the right thing and that this is a good thing. Because if you do that, you've already set yourself up for failure. Think of all these moguls that have invented products. You can think of the successful people on Shark Tank. You can think of Sarah Blakely from Spanx, who just sold her business for $1 billion. People thought she was nuts. She was told no a gazillion times. People talk shit about her. You know, she had to keep betting on herself. I like using Bethany Frankel as an example. I love her. A lot of people have mixed feelings about her, but this is what happens when you're a leader in the world with a bright light. People will have mixed feelings about you. And she sold her brand Skinny Girl for a crap ton of money, right? She had no family. She had a similar situation to me, a very dysfunctional childhood. She didn't have these people cheering her on and believing in her. She maybe had like two people in her corner. And then one of the people who was in her corner was her ex-husband, who ended up totally screwing her over. But she kept going. She kept persevering because she wasn't solely dependent on external factors to validate that she is deemed worthy, that she is deemed capable of having great wealth, of having great success. Once you start validating yourself, now the energy of money, the energy of abundance is going to come in much faster. But when you're going to chase it, it's kind of like if you're chasing a dog, they're going to run away from you, not towards you. But if you're standing there and you know you have that bone or their favorite toy in their hand, as Chubbs is looking at me right now, he just destroyed another toy. I need recommendations, by the way, for like indestructible dog toys. And don't give me the brand Kong. And no offense, Kong, but I got to tell you, he destroys those too. And you're holding on to their toy, they come to you and you're standing still. You're not having to chase. You're not having to exert all this effort. You're not having to work. You're standing there and they come to you. It's the same thing with money. You're chasing it and it's getting further away from you. But if you stand in your conviction, in your belief, in your faith, right, that this is available for me. This is happening for me. And I'm going to show up and take abundant action and do my part. But I'm going to continue to trust this is happening. I'm worthy of it. It's here, etc. You then allow it to come to you. And this is how we make more and work less. So curious to see where the validator stands with you. And there's different times in your life. You might be, the validator might be kind of driving the car right now, because you're having a difficult time deciding to leave corporate or switch your niche or change focus on how you run things in your business or even starting a business, right? So it might be in the driver's seat. So you kind of want to see when you're going through the 4 money languages, which one of the 4 is generally driving. But just know at different times, depending on what's going on, when you're in that scarcity state, one of these other money languages ends up taking the wheel temporarily, but we hold the control to put that particular money language back in the back seat, tied up in the trunk, or riding shotgun with you. That's fine too. Like, I welcome my validator. You want to sit shotgun? That's fine. You can sit shotgun in the car, but you best, keep yourself in check, because not only am I driving, but I'm controlling the music that we listen to. So don't forget, go check out Make More, Work Less. It'll never be this low again. So you're going to want to grab it. And it's not even just the price. Like, it's designed to change your money story in 7 days or less. And there's no better season than the season of abundance, the season of renewal, the season of coziness, than to take this time and do this work for yourself to set yourself up so that 2024 is your most lucrative and incredible year of your life, where you've taken control of your money story and everything changes. And go check out the ProjectME Posse Business Coaching Membership Black Friday sale, projectmewithtiffany.com/Black Friday. All of the discounts on my pages are automatically applied at checkout, and same with the bonuses. So you don't need to put in any code. It automatically happens for you, because we can make more and work less. We don't need to give you an extra step to do. Wishing you great health, wealth, and worth as always. Love you. And part 3 is going to be coming to you soon. If you are loving this 4 money languages series, please go leave a 5-star review. Takes you 2 seconds. You can tap the 5 stars on Spotify, tap the 5 stars on Apple. You want to take it a step further and share your abundance and gratitude for all the work that goes into the show and the love and the time, then leave a written review on Apple. Put your name or Instagram handle or TikTok handle in the review. I read each and every one, and I want to be able to share them and tag you, and really celebrate you as a listener, and really participating in the growth and the magic of our show here that I know has changed so many lives. And I'm still blown away every single day that I get to do this and make an insane amount of money doing this. This is pure evidence for you.